most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we're going to show you the best exercise to heal plantar fasciitis according to science. And you don't need any equipment. At least you don't need anything that you wouldn't already have at home.
Nothing fancy.
Yeah. By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second and subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, go to bobandbrad.com, go to the giveaway section, and you'll see that this week we're giving away Bob and Brad exercise bands. They finally are here, folks.
That's right.
And they're high quality and they're good. We'll also give away some wall anchors. You can go to Bob and Brad on Facebook and we'll have the contest pinned to the top of the page. Go to Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok if you want a 60-second version of our program.
Say no more, Bob.
Believe it or not, Brad, we are constantly evolving and learning. So this is a study I came across because I wouldn't say that we were always doing things like this.
Sure. Well, things change.
I'm going to read the name of the study. It's pretty dry, the name even, but some of you may want to look it up. We'll try to put it down below too. High load strength training improves outcome in patients with plantar fasciitis. A randomized controlled trial with 12-month follow-up. It's Rathleff et al.
Say no more, Bob. It's really, yeah, it's
so. In other words, they found out that strengthening the plantar fascia, that's that band. I'm going to show them, Brad.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going to show
Yep,
them.
Bob is really going all out.
You can really
see
it on me. I got a Band-Aid here, by the way.
Oh, don't worry about it. We won't talk about it.
The plantar fasciitis fascia starts, merging in with the heel here.
Yep.
And then it actually goes up into the toes too. And this will be important in just a minute. So I'll explain to you why it's important that the fascia extends up into there.
And indirectly, it connects up to the Achilles tendon or the heel cord as well.
It's all kind of all one unit here.
Which comes into play with this exercise.
So they did, they compared stretching the plantar fascia along with strengthening the plantar fascia.
Right.
And what they found out after a controlled trial with a 12-month follow-up, they followed up in 12 months, that this high-low progressive strengthening was much more effective.
Oh.
So what I'm going to say to you personally, I would do both. And plus, they also included an arch support off the shelf.
Oh, okay.
I think on both of them.
So they were even.
Yeah.
So they try to keep it consistent.
So in other words, they felt like it was important to use an arch support. And I think we would support that, wouldn't you, Brad?
If it feels good.
Yeah, if it feels good. Yeah, if
you got to get the right one.
Right, it should feel good right away. I wouldn't pay money to have one that's custom made.
Right.
So the stretching, what they did, just to show you, they were doing it 3 times a day, and basically they're just grabbing the toes like this and pulling the foot into dorsiflexion, which means this way.
Pulling it up.
And you're stretching like this. And I always like people doing this stretch before they even get out of bed. That's what I'd like to see them do it. And they do it 10 times, like just kind of reps like this.
That can help. If you have those symptoms when you get out of bed and as soon as you put weight on, it's very painful and uncomfortable. This stretch will help settle that down before you get out,
And then you probably should do it like if you've been sitting for a while.
Sure, yeah.
And then do a stretch like that too.
You can do it with your shoe on if it's a flexible shoe.
Let's just describe real briefly, Brad, how this strengthening works.
Okay.
Because they use a term I had never been familiar with called windlass. Windlass.
Well, if you were a sailor, you would probably...
If I was a sailor, I'd probably know it. Windlass. What windlass means is you're tightening the cables.
Right.
So what we're going to do, because we're doing this exercise off a step, you're going to need a staircase is probably the best way to do this with a railing.
Yep.
You're actually pulling on the Achilles heel, which is actually pulling on the plantar fascia from this side.
Right.
Now we need to pull on from this side this side also, so that it's really getting the full load.
Right. So we're going to take the slack out of it.
Yeah. So that's where the windlass comes. You're actually tightening this side and tightening this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a towel underneath the toes.
So you take a towel like this. This is a nice decoration towel. I like it. But you're going to roll it. And the size that you roll it to is going to vary. And I've done this before, so I know if I roll it about to that size, it's going to be fine. I've got some extra towel. I'm not going to worry about that.
Right. And you need a chair if you have a step and you don't have something to hold on to. You're going to
Yeah.
need.
We've got a 4-inch wooden step here that we use for something else, but it'll work fine. You could do this off the edge of a step like Bob mentioned. Okay.
Which would probably be the best way.
Yeah, probably. So I've got my roll there. Okay, I'm not taking my socks off, Bob.
That's
I'm telling you
fine.
that. I'm going
Nobody's
to
gonna
put
disagree with
my
that.
foot here so that the ball of
Yeah.
your foot is well over the edge. And my toes, you can see these are nice socks for this because they,
Yeah, they do. They show well.
yeah, I'm going to put it on the edge so my toes are extended or pulled upwards. So the towel roll is going to maintain that. So that's going to help pull that tight. And then I'm
Pull
going
the
to,
plantar fascia tight on that from that side. Now
Yep.
he's going to pull it from the other side by
Yeah.
actually putting some pressure. Now, for many of you, you're going to probably have to start with both feet like this.
right. So
Because you won't have this. Why don't you show it with one, Brad, just to
Yep.
show what you're doing.
So I'm going to go here.
He's going to go up for a
Yep.
count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 2, and then down for 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Now you really notice the towel roll under your toes, particularly when you're in the up position.
Right.
You can
And
feel that stretch.
I did the same thing when I was doing these.
Now you may not be able to do this on one foot depending on your strength. I've had a lot of particularly older people would never be able to do this on one
Right.
foot. So you're going to maintain the towel position, get both feet on. If you're in a have something to hold on to. If you're in a stairway, it's nice if you have a handrail on both sides.
Right.
But one side's better than nothing, or a cane and a handrail, and then work these.
Again, same thing. 1, 2, 3 up. 1, 2 hold. 1, 2, 3 down.
And if you can only do 5 of them and you get tired, well, that's okay. Just work with it over time.
Work your way up. You're going to start with actually 12 repetitions. You can. And again, you might want to look up the study. It gives you the specifics. I don't want to get too much into details, but they start off with 3 sets of 12.
Okay.
And then they actually, especially if you're a younger person, they start adding weight. And the way they do that is they have you wear a backpack.
Sure.
And they can put books in it.
Right.
So you remember your kids. I mean, my kids, their backpacks would be like 70 pounds.
Yeah,
I mean,
they load them down.
They load them down.
Yeah.
They don't want to go back to the locker. in between.
Probably not so much nowadays because they just put a tablet or a computer.
Yeah, right.
It takes the place of a lot of books, I imagine.
So, but anyway, they go up, they start with the 12 reps. They eventually work down to only 8 reps, but they do more sets.
Sure.
But they only do 8 reps because that's all they can do when they have enough books in there.
So they're working on really strengthening.
Right.
with
They're
that-
really trying to progress the strength of that band.
Right.
And they're saying one of the other effects of it is, especially if you start using the book, you're probably stretching your Achilles tendon more.
Yep.
And they found that seems to help plantar fasciitis if
Sure.
you have more mobility here. You
Right.
can bring the foot up better.
Yep.
So it was an interesting study. I thought, again, I would definitely do the stretching along with it anyway.
So they did every day or
Oh, sorry, 3 times a week.
3 times a week,
For
like a
strengthening.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something of that nature.
Right, 3 times a week for the strengthening. For the stretching, you do every day, 3 times a day.
And that's this one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Which is, that's not that
No, that's
inconvenient.
right. This one takes a little more effort. And
Right.
interesting enough, Brad, I was doing something like this.
Yeah.
I didn't do the windlass position.
Yeah.
I was thinking this is really a good idea to do this. I was doing it on my stairs every morning. I'd do
Sure.
the stretch.
Yeah.
And I'd do like 10 reps.
But
And
you didn't have plantar fasciitis.
I didn't have plantar
You
fasciitis,
just
but
were.
I've felt it in the past, like it coming on.
Mhm.
And then usually that's when I had to change my shoes. But I just thought I'd try this as an experiment. I was on the right track, but I wasn't doing all the
Yeah.
tightening.
Yeah. So you could have done this study.
I'm a
if
genius
they-
and don't even know it. All right.
Unbelievable.
Thanks for watching.
Say no more.